Hello, and welcome back to another development video. Today we're taking a look at warp portals and the boat mechanic in the game. If I go and stand on a portal, like before, I have warp as one of the options. I added a nice gradual fade where all the portals gradually appear in opacity and the ones that are still locked remain more transparent. As you can see with the opaque portals, there is one unlocked portal in each of the 4 worlds, as well as one inside the hub world. By having one discovered portal in each world to start, gives the player a degree of autonomy where they can explore which world they want to first, while still ensuring that the player will start that specific world exactly where I want them to. Although once they enter that world, they can explore and wander from there and unlock other portals. As you can see, I have a couple locked portals over in the islands world. Let's warp into the islands to try and find another portal. When we first enter the islands, you might notice a boat filled with pirates. If I turn on the debugger and shuffle through, you can see that just like the construction workers in the city, the pirates shuffle through a few different sprites, making it have kind of a degree of randomness when you enter in. If I walk onto the boat and stand near the edges, you can see some adjacent islands and adjacent docks that are unreachable. If I hold the search key, a mast with a flag appears on the ship, signifying that the pirates own this ship, and not the player. You can also notice that one pirate has a marker of a ship behind them, signifying that they're the captain of the ship. If I talk to the captain, I have a few options, one of which is paying for transport. I also added here a little EP tab showing the current EP that you have when an option that costs something appears, instead of you needing to open up your menu to check how much money you have. Anyways, if I click to transport, I can choose which adjacent dock I want to sail to. The numbers underneath the docks are purely for debug purposes. They're going to be gone in the finished product, but right now they're kind of just there to make sure the right values are set, and once I create a finished version of the islands, those numbers will be gone. Once I select one of the docks, I sail over there, along with everyone that is on the boat. And down to the bottom right here, there's a new portal. And if I step on it, there is a sound as well as a text appearing saying that I've discovered a new portal. Now, if I choose to warp, I can teleport to either one of those portals. You can notice that depending on which side I teleport on, the boats reciprocate that. So that way there's always going to be the boat on the side that you choose to warp to, preventing you from being trapped on an island and forcing you to use a warp portal to get to the other side. If you discover enough warp portals, you will unlock the Archeologist, who, as you might notice, has a shovel on her back. This shovel stems from me playing way too many Capcom Zelda games that had the shovel. So her basic attack is she just attacks with her shovel. But her special is she digs, and then a random item pops out. It's kind of underwhelming, but something that's way more fun than it should be. When I have more polished worlds, I'm going to make some region-specific areas have special items, making the digging mechanic a lot more fun as well. Alright, let's warp back to the islands. I can keep paying every time I want to sail, but that's expensive and can add up pretty quickly. If I try and steer the boat myself, the captain gets mad at me. If I want to be the one who controls the boat, I have 2 options. When I talk to the captain, I can buy the boat for a whopping 500 EP, which, if I didn't use cheats, would be pretty expensive. Alternatively, I can tell the pirate that this is a mutiny and take the ship for myself. I think fighting is more cost effective and also more fun, so we're going to choose to do that. And as you can see, all the pirates begin attacking me. Now that I've killed all the pirates, if I hold the search key, you can see that the flag with the mast now reflects the current host that I am playing as, showing that I control this boat now. Now if I interact with the wheel, I can sail without paying any costs. Another thing you might notice is that the hosts that are on the boat will also sail along with me. So you can see the infantry soldier and the archaeologist are with me, but the barbarian, who wasn't on the boat, is off still wandering around. You also might notice that the collision walls around the islands and the boats are both absolutely terrible right now. I started to fine-tune it, but then I realized that once I move the boat, it's going to have to be fine-tuned again. So that's another thing that will be very messy until I actually have the finalized map of what the isles will look like. Once you take over a ship, you unlock the pirate, whose basic attack is a cutlass sword, but special is sending out his parrot, which functions kind of like the librarian or the witch's magic ranged attack, where it follows the mouse until it hits the mouse cursor. But rather than replenishing with mana, the parrot is able to be launched whenever it returns back to the pirate. This unique way of recharging is very fun, because if you're smart with it, you can do like I did with this goblin here, and do a frequent ranged attack without any repercussions, where I launch it, and then it comes back to me before the goblin reaches me, and then I keep attacking. However, because I cannot use the parrot until it returns back to me, if the parrot reaches my mouse cursor when it's not on the right angle, the parrot might fly off in a different direction, and I'm having to wait for it to fly back to me. This mechanic did not take as long as I thought it would. So I spent a lot of the month working on quests and some special NPCs. If I go over to quests, you can see I've added in quite a few new ones to it here. If I count it up here, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've completed 10 side quests out of my total 24 side quests, so I'm almost halfway there. Likewise, if I had to go to Compendium and go to Neutral Creatures, you can see all the different characters I've added, with still just the pirate and construction worker being the only general characters I've added. But I have quite a few special characters across the 4 worlds, and I'm also able to scroll down where there will be more. I also have the option to filter in case I'm only looking at, for example, where the 4 shops are in the 4 worlds. So that way it lets you quickly toggle to see which 4 characters in each of the 4 worlds are the ones you would go to if you're wanting to buy something. Right now, I only have 1 character in the castle who sells something, and of course the self-checkout machines in the city. You can also toggle the minigame option to see which host runs the minigame in each of the 4 worlds. The last thing I've added is another seafaring host, the Viking. The Viking special is unique because rather than looking solely at the SP, the Viking will expend 100 HP to go berserk, doubling his damage for the remainder of his SP, which will slowly deplete but restore whenever he takes damage or defeats an enemy. The Viking is a character whose gameplay appeals to those not wanting to play around with a luck mechanic and switch around, but just wanting to buff one really powerful host and just keep going and attacking. Also, if I open up the menu here and scroll down through all the hosts, I only have 2 more hosts left to code, and then I've reached the 50 goal that I wanted to start with. That is incredible and exciting, and you gotta see their silhouettes there as a tease. Anyways, this concludes the current development video. If you have any questions, either about the game or how something was coded, feel free to ask. As always, thank you for watching and have a great day.